Hey guys, it's Trevor with Red Records. This is the last Superior Drummer 3 video, fourth one. Today we're talking about the Tracker tab. We've talked about the other three tabs. This is the final tab to go over to fully utilize your Superior Drummer plugin. Let's just jump right in, alright? So I hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far. I've got the Tracker tab pulled up now. Um, and let's figure out how to use this thing, right? So we use this for if we have real audio drums, or even if we want to pull drums out of a song. Like it can have the instruments and everything in it. It does a pretty good job kind of deciphering what's a drum and what's not a drum, right? For this example today, we're going to use just a drum audio track. Um, and what it does is it simply analyzes it, and then we can adjust and tweak and pull out the transients to put as our, to convert them to these sounds instead in our Superior Drummer, um, from our Superior Drummer library, right? And change the sounds, adjust them, add stuff to them, right? It gives us a lot more um, flexibility when we do it that way. But if we just have the audio track, this is how you would get this converted to your MIDI, okay? So we're going to pull up, let's see, maybe I've already got this one kind of pulled up here. This drum track from another one of my songs. Um, and we kind of see right off the bat, we can kind of scroll through, and it's the entire audio file. And you can see these little transients here that are marked, and it kind of is marked by velocity, how hard the drum is being hit. Now, which drum are we looking at right now? And you're going to find that down here at sound recognition. Right now, we're looking at the kick drum, but we can also look for snare, hi-hat, ride, toms, or specific cymbals, and we can adjust all of these over here. If we just hit edit, we can choose any of these other articulations instead for Superior to be listening for inside this track, right? So right now we're just looking for kick, okay? So let's listen to this. Let's see. So right now it's picking up some of the toms as well. It thinks that some of the toms are also kicks, like right here in this little fill, which is fine. We can always remove those by highlighting them and just hitting delete, and now those are no longer being detected, right? And you can do that for the rest of them, right? But we won't do that here just for the sake of time. We could also adjust the mix if we're only hearing our sample audio, which is whatever Superior is picking up from this, right? So that's the original drum kit that we were hearing. Let me move this forward a little bit, right? Um, so we're only hearing this kick drum, the Superior kick drum. But if we want to hear just um, what our audio that we imported in sounds like, we're gonna go to 100% source audio, right? And now we hear what the source track sounds like, right? And it was able to distinguish what was a kick and what was not a kick, right? So it's pretty intuitive. I usually like to keep this more on the sample audio so that I can kind of hear, right? So it is picking out those kicks for us. Um, and we are auditioning the instrument, right? Nothing else, not like a click or anything. And we can also solo this track out or mute it, and you'll see why we do that in a little bit. This is also the source, and you can increase the loudness of your source file if you want to, but I usually just leave it at the default, right? Now down here at the sound recognition, we got a bunch of different options here to look at. We can de-trigger something, we can trigger something, we can how much of the kicks are selected, right? We can choose all of this. Um, the main tool that I use right here is the amount, right? Um, so this is pretty much your filter. If you keep this all the way down, it will pretty much pick up everything it hears. Um, if you require a 50 to 60% sound match, it's going to pick more of the kicks up because we're looking for kicks here. And if you notice, more of the transients are being added, the less I require a sound match here. So I might usually keep this at like 50 or 60, or you can even go up to 100 if you want. Kind of depends on what you're looking for and the sounds that you're trying to achieve. And we can also reduce the bleed, like how, you know, what's the velocity like? Are we only taking the really strong kicks from here? or are we taking pretty much everything that sounds like a kick, right? That's what we would use with this fader here. And at the very bottom, we can look through the entire track pretty quickly through this little fader. And we've also got a convenient tracker here that tells us how many sounds it has detected so far, okay? So that's kind of like everything here. Like if I just wanted the kicks, I would probably do this, right? I would bring the bleed up so it's just the kicks, and it's probably going to have a couple others, and if it does, I can just simply highlight those and delete, right? The ones that aren't kicks, right? And now this looks like, so it missed that one as well. So I might need to actually reduce, there we go, maybe like this, right? See, now it's picking up all the kicks that we got here. So that's the kicks. But what if you want your snares and your hi-hats also in here as well? You're going to duplicate the track because we're trying to pull the snare and the hi-hat from the same track, okay? Um, and with this highlighted, we're going to change this to the snare. And now this track is picking up snare. This track is picking up kick, okay? And the adjustments are the same. How much does it have to match with the original snare sound, and what's the velocity like, right? We're just pretty much setting our parameters for Superior to detect what it's going to detect whenever it does detect your song, okay? And then we'd have to do one more for hi-hats, correct? And we would need one for a crash as well, but we're just going to do a hi-hat so you can get the idea here. Right, so right now it's kind of got a bunch of open hi-hats. I might want to change the articulation to closed tip, because that's what the song is, right? So you would do that right in here, right? Change the articulation, and now it's... That's 100% sample right there, right? That sounds better to me. And then you do any other drums that you've got in your file the same way like this. And then what you would do is you would hit export, and this is the fun part. So it goes ahead and exports each one of them. So this was the kick, this was the snare, this was the hi-hat, and so on and so forth. Or you can take the entire all tracks combined, right? And boom, you're just going to bring it right into your song, right? And it'll ask if you want to include the tempo from the original track, or if you want it to auto snap to whatever your project tempo is, right? So you've got those options. I might go ahead and turn this off, and then we're going to add the MIDI. All right, and boom, we've got our drum file here. And now we can adjust everything with our knowledge from the other three tabs. We can literally do any of this stuff to this new track that we have created. We could even go in and adjust, the grid editor again, edit the play style. We can do anything we have done before now with our audio file conversion, right? So that's how you convert audio to MIDI in Superior Drummer. It's 4 massive tools in one, and it really saves on hard drive space and declutters your DAW significantly. I use all of these features pretty readily. So that's kind of your crash course on the tracker tab, and that's kind of everything in Superior Drummer wrapped up. Are there a lot more fine-tuned little details? Yes, there are. Not things that I use on a day-to-day, not things that you're going to typically see or use whenever you are creating drums or audio for your projects. This was pretty much everything that you're going to be using, the bread and butter of Superior Drummer, with a couple of extra tips and tricks. But I hope you guys found some sort of knowledge and some sort of help from these videos. If you did like them, please feel free to like the video, subscribe, check out the other ones. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, see ya.